Hi everybody. Okay, so I know it's been a long time since I have done a YouTube video, and for that I apologize, but life has been a little busy. For those of you that don't really follow me, we have actually just recently moved all the way across Canada. We have moved from BC to PEI, and I'm just getting reestablished in my new salon and my new life, so I now have time to get stuff like this done again. And I'm really excited to be able to show you something that we came up with today. I had a client request the rose quartz nails. She really liked them, but she wanted a little bit of a twist. She wanted her own spin on them. So this is what I came up with for her, and I had a whole bunch of requests for a tutorial. So I thought I had time to do it today. So let's do a quick tutorial on how to make these really pretty rose quartz nails. Now, this is how I did mine. I always say, this is how I've done mine. You guys can change the colors, change whatever you're using. But I thought it was a really pretty neat little way on doing like a rose marble nail without being like the traditional rose marble. Okay, so here's what I've used. I've got all my colors on my palette here. I'm going to be using Luxio Gloss, Luxio Eternity, and Luxio Wisp. I'm also using the Options Gel Art White, Options Gel Art Black, Pink Chintz, Sparkles Pink, Cosmic Silver, and Glamour Pink. So there's a whole bunch of colors that we use just to make these little designs, and we're going to be layering and just basically marbling our colors together. It's actually pretty easy. So I've put my colors on my palette here just so we don't have to keep reaching into the bottles. And what I have done here, I've just based my tip with white because these little sticks are clear and it's kind of hard to see the colors otherwise. So I've just got all my colors on a palette here. And I've taken a little bit of the Pink Chintz and the Glamour Pink, and I've mixed it together to kind of make a mid-tone pink because I didn't really have that color. So I mix a lot of my colors for everybody. So if you guys have watched my videos, you know that, or taken a class with me or had your nails done, I mix a lot of colors together. So I just made my own. So what I'm going to start out with is a coat of Eternity. And I'm just going to, whoops, sorry guys. I'm just going to apply this right over the whole nail. And I like using Wisp for this design because if you guys haven't used Luxio Wisp, it's a really pretty whitish gray color. Let me just get my lighting in here a little bit better for you guys. There we go. Yeah, Wisp is like this really pretty whitish gray color, and it's a little bit see-through. It's a little bit sheer. So for a look that what we're going for here today, it's going to create that really pretty kind of rose quartz kind of smoky look. So I'm just going to drop this on the nail, just kind of random. And we're just going to allow this to spread out a little bit. And I'm going to take my detail brush and just kind of move this around a little bit. And this is just our base layer, so this doesn't need to really be any sort of particular specific design because we're going to be curing this and then layering more colors on top of it. So don't worry about making this look exactly perfect as I am. And everyone does their own marble a little bit differently, but basically this is how this first coat should kind of look, just really kind of mushed together. So I'm going to do just a freeze cure, a couple seconds in my light. And then we'll come back in with our Luxio Gloss. Now I'm going to be floating my next set of colors over top of a wet layer. So this is going to go on just a thin layer of Luxio Gloss. If you apply your gloss too thick, you're going to end up with a really bulky nail that is just going to be running all over the place. So just a thin layer of Luxio Gloss. Because basically we want a little bit of slip and glide over the colors. We're not creating like a big thick nail with this. So make sure that your layers that you're using are a little bit thinner. Okay, so I'm going to take my mixed that I used here. This is, again, the Pink Chintz and the Glamour Pink mixed. And we're going to start adding a little bit of depth and a little bit of detail to this. And there really is no like exact placement to put your marbling. Basically, if you're looking at sort of like how a stone looks naturally, kind of think of where shading would go, where it would look kind of neat to create that little bit of pattern, that little bit of design. And you can see, because we are working over top of Luxio gloss, our colors are dispersing really nicely and giving this really pretty soft look. That's why we want to work over top of like a top gloss, something that's going to float really easily. If you don't have Luxio gloss, any soak off top coat will work fine, or like a soak off clear, something that's got a really thin consistency to it. A hard gel top coat might work as well, but I like doing my work like this over top of the Luxio gloss. Tack-free top coats don't tend to work the same. You do need something that's got a little bit of movement to it. But play around with what you guys currently have. You don't need to go running out and buying new products just to do this specific design. Work with what you have and see if what you have works. And don't worry if you put on a little bit too much color in one specific spot. It will like thin out and sort of move out on its own, or you can go over top of it and just disperse it a little bit too. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now what I want to do is add a little bit more depth into this still. So I'm going to take a little bit of my gel art black and I'm going to mix it into this pink mix that we already have here. I just want to create a little bit more shading into that nail. So let's take a little bit of that. I just want to add a little bit more depth. So this color that I mixed, it's a little bit darker than the initial coat of Eternity that I put on. So when you're doing this look, basically this is all about layering and shading. So you're getting a more realistic looking marble. And it doesn't need to be, you don't need to go crazy with it, because you kind of need to step back and take a look at what you're doing as well. Make sure you haven't overwhelmed one specific area with too much color or not enough color. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit more dark, just in a little few spots. Not too much. You don't want to do like solid black with this look either. You want it to still be like a soft kind of smoky, pinky, purple black. And just kind of think of where it would look good. Like not every design is going to be exactly the same. So kind of work with whatever you've created on your nail where your darkers should be. And if you think you might need a little bit more light in one area, just come back in with your lighter shade, your wisp or whatever color you're working with, and kind of throw a little bit in there too. And you can, because we're working on this thin layer of the Luxio gloss, you can move your colors around. Like you're not stuck with just that one thing that you've done. We are working on an uncured top coat layer, so we can drag this around a little bit too. Okay, so have fun with this design a little bit, play around, create something kind of cool. Now I don't know if I like this right here exactly, so I'm just going to maybe drag a little bit in between it and create that look there. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with my Cosmic Silver and just add a little bit of sparkle onto the darker lines that I've made, just to kind of break that up a little bit. The client that wanted these totally wanted a bit of glitter on these because that's how she is. So the Cosmic Silver to me worked really, really well. It's such a smooth glitter too that it doesn't stick up. You can easily apply it on this design and it just settles right in, which is really awesome. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my Sparkles Pink, because we can never have enough glitter, let's face it. And I'm just going to run this around here a little bit too, just in a few spots. Not over the top, but just enough. And this is a really, really pretty subtle glitter too. The sparkles pink. Just kind of adds a little something for you. Okay. It's pretty easy. So this is a pretty straightforward design. It doesn't take that long. It's quite simple to do. I mean, you could spend forever going back and touching this up and making it perfect. So don't worry if you don't, you know, maybe this one nail isn't exactly great, but the next one that you do may be even better. So practice on them a couple times. And the nice thing is with this design, each one's going to look a little bit different. But there does come a point where you sort of have to stop. You're going to muddy your design and swirl too much around and make kind of a mess. So you do sort of have to stop at some point and take a step back and go, okay, that's good. So this is good. I think we can leave it like this. You can always add a little bit more sparkle to it, a little bit more detail if you want to, or change it up and make it a little bit different. I think I'm just going to add, see, there's me adding a little bit more stuff to it. I think I'm just going to add a little bit more right in here, just a little bit of tiny bit more dark, just to kind of make it look like it's got that little bit of extra in there. I don't want to have a super flat looking nail. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more of the cosmic silver in here, just so it's not so dark. There, that's a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to cure this. So because I'm using my Akzentz LED light, this will be 30 seconds. If you are using a UV light, 2 minutes. So here's these other ones that I did up here again. I'll let you have a look at them. So they're all different, like nothing's ever the same when it comes to marbling. I'm sure you guys know that, but it's kind of a cool look. And this would work really well with anything. Like if you wanted to layer blues or greens or whatever color you wanted to do, like this would be super pretty to do as like that turquoise look too. But because my client requested pink, I just did a bunch of pink ones. But turquoise would look amazing as well. You could layer a couple different shades of teals together, a couple different blues, and still use the same idea and just make something that's really cool. So play around with your colors and see what else you guys can come up with. So I'm going to finish this off with Shine On, because it's Shine On and it's amazing and you guys need it if you don't have it yet. And this again, 30 seconds or 2 minutes, whichever lamp you happen to be using. And we'll give that its time. So I will show these products to you guys again here. Make sure my lids are on. So Luxio, Eternity, and Wisp. Those are my two background colors. You guys see that okay in the light? So Eternity and Wisp. And then all these guys here. So Gel Art White, Gel Art Black, Pink Chintz, Sparkles Pink, Cosmic Silver, and Glamour Pink. These were the ones that I used for these designs. So again, don't be afraid to mix your colors. They're there, use them. That's what they're designed to be mixed. Go ahead and go for it. So there's that one we just did today, and that didn't take us very long. But know that if you're going to be doing a layered design look like this, you do need to book off a little bit more time. Just doing a simple black and white marble with a little bit of glitter through it is way less time, but this just looks like it has a little bit more depth and a bit more richness to it. So I'd love to see what you guys come up with. If you want to post on my Facebook page, Robin Schwartz Nail Design, or send me some pictures and I'll help you guys out if you're stuck with something too. But yeah, I'd love to see what you guys create. And yeah, if you want to play around with colors, make that really cool turquoise one, that would be pretty cool too. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can let me know in the comment section or message me on my Facebook, and we'll talk to you guys all really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.